Hi everybody, this is a mid-range Dimir deck that wants to use Kotose the Silent Spider to pull out useful cards from the opponent's graveyard, after setting up the early game with some low-to-the-ground creatures and planeswalkers. So, full disclosure, it's the day before the Meathook Massacre ban goes into effect on MTG Arena. So just looking at the cards in Standard at the moment, Black still has a lot of very powerful cards, including Invoke Despair, which is still one of the best sorceries in Standard at the moment. This is sort of a low-to-the-ground or maybe mid-range blue-black deck that expects a lot of Invoke Despair come Friday. So right away, we've got 4 Make Disappear and 4 Disdainful Stroke. Disdainful Stroke matches up really nicely against Invoke Despair itself, as well as Sheoldred and a bunch of other really annoying stuff that Black is running at the moment. We've also got 4 Suspicious Stowaway to draw some cards and be an unblockable threat to get in at Planeswalkers and just get in little chip shots of damage. A few Infernal Grasp because it's great removal. Speaking of great removal, we've also got Rona's Vortex in here as well. The Battlefly Swarm, I just kind of wanted another cheap creature that could gain some death touch in case we ran up against any haughty Djinn decks. I think the Twitter user Schlop was joking when they included this in one of their decks, but I went for it here and it wasn't half bad. If anything, it's fodder to cover ourselves from an Invoke Despair and save our more important creature, or we can use it with Make Disappear and activate Casualty with it. So it was okay. I'll just say that. We've got 2 Siphon Insight, just a kind of a way to draw some extra cards and peel some Invoke Despairs off of our opponent's deck. Sticking with that theme, that's kind of the reason for Kotose in here as well, in that we're able to kind of pull some of the useful stuff out of our opponent's graveyard after we've dealt with it. So that can be anything other than a basic land. That can be our opponent's Sheoldreds, that can be our opponent's Invoke Despairs, our opponent's removal, that kind of thing. So you don't need too many more than 2 in here just because you're generally pulling out the best stuff out of the graveyard, and it's not meant to be something that is happening over and over again. We've got Rona Sheoldred's Faithful in here, mostly because I thought the art looked cool and I thought it might fit in a little bit with some of our instants and sorceries. It's not that great in this shell. It's a steep cost too to get her back, so she may fit better in another deck. In here, it should probably be either another Sheoldred, or maybe we could squeeze in a Tenacious Underdog or 2 in here. Aside from that, the 3-drops really shine in here. We've got Kaito Shizuki, who is really able to take advantage of our 1 and 2 drops in here. And instead of ticking down to create a ninja as soon as we play him, he can tick up because we've often got something on the board that has already attacked. This is really great, especially against red decks who are able to throw like a Voltage Surge or a Play with Fire right at Kaito the next turn if he's made a ninja the turn before. So it's nice to be able to immediately increase his loyalty right away. And spoiler alert, we did manage to get to his emblem in one of these games, which was kind of fun. Also, we've got 4 Aether Channeler, which is kind of a versatile card. Like, it's not super powerful, but it's able to do kind of what you need it to do, and that's exactly what we needed in this deck, where depending on what we draw, if we get too many counterspells, if we get, too many Sheoldreds, we either need to draw into some land, we need another bird. It just fits the bill for whatever's missing in our hand at the moment. At any rate, we got in some fun games with this deck, and we even got to send off an opponent who was trying to Meathook Massacre us on the way out of here in Game 5. So anyway, I hope you enjoy these games on the Ranked Standard ladder. I'm going to stick with you for some commentary in some of these games, but as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Hi, everybody. We're here with our Dimir Kotose deck, trying to take advantage of the demise of Meathook Massacre. Now, as of this recording, it hasn't officially left yet, but that's all right. We're preparing for Thursday and Friday with a deck meant to take advantage of an environment chock full of Invoke Despair. Interesting, here our opponent on a dig up. We draw another Make Disappear. I'll just get in for 1 with this Phyrexian. Our opponent on Jund, but not doing too much. We'll go ahead and activate our Sleeper. Thinking for a second. Having 2 blue here lets us keep up both Make Disappear and Rona's Vortex, rather than, we don't really need the 2 right away for the Phyrexian's ability. Will be nice to have for Sheoldred in the future, though. We'll take the risk, activate this sleeper. Still no response from the opponent. Well, I'm happy to keep hammering away. We'll get in for 3 and pass. We're in a good spot with these this pair of Make Disappears. No need to rush things as of yet. Opponent cycles away a Rafine's Tower. Tamiyo's Safekeeping? We draw a Siphon Insight. We'll play this Marsh, get in with the Phyrexian again. I've seen some Arcane Bombardment decks run Tamiyo's Safekeeping, but we'll get this Battlefly down. Super secret anti-Haughty Djinn tech. There it is, Arcane Bombardment. Well, we can't let that fly, so Make Disappear it is. Sorry, opponent. I know how that feels. But Standard is a different world now. We'll Siphon Insight, take that big score. Nothing else going on over there. If you're going to if you're going to Arcane Bombardment, rather, you need something to do. We're going to play this Channeler and get a bird. Get in with the Battlefly and the Sleeper. Opponent with an Invoke the Ancients. We will hit that with a casualtied version of Make Disappear. Luckily, the opponent did not have a sweeper there, but we had the answer either way, so not a big deal. And that'll about wrap it up for the opponent. All right. Well, good game. Back again with another Dimir Kotose list. We'll mulligan that first hand. Not a whole lot of useful stuff there, but this is a great curve up. We can get this Stowaway going immediately. Kotose the following turn. Then plan to have up Disdainful Stroke on turn 4 when we can start countering our opponent's stuff with that. Opponent does nothing, so this Stowaway actually flips over to the Werewolf. Just straight up draws us a card, and I think with Kaito here, we'll just make a Ninja.
I've got all kinds of connections.
Opponent is playing black, so we kind of want to go a little wide for starters. We'll get in with this Ninja, activate old Kaito here. And we'll get down another Stowaway since it is still night. Opponent going for Sorin. Can't let that fly. We'll use our Make Disappear since the Stroke is going to be more valuable in future turns. The value of Make Disappear goes down more and more each turn that passes. All right, we'll get in for a couple, draw a card, and then draw another one with Kaito here.
What do we have here?
We're at 5. Don't want to play Sheoldred just yet and go shields down, so we'll probably draw with this Lounge and keep up the Stroke. That was a good thing we did too. Catch an Invoke Despair off of that. And we'll draw with the Lounge. That's mainly what the Stroke is in there for. Counter that Invoke Despair. Alright, we'll get in for 3. Draw a card. There's Kotose. Draw an extra off of Kaito here. Make sure we're hitting our land drops. We can drop Sheoldred safely now since we have, well, no counter in hand, but we can Rona's Vortex something out of the way if we want to get in for a little damage this turn and try to go for the win. Opponent with another Invoke Despair, but we've gone too wide. Poor Kaito takes a dip into the graveyard, and opponent takes an extra 2 from drawing off of that Invoke Despair. So we will try to get in for 6 here, and that means the opponent will lose on their next draw step unless they've got a response. We'll Kotose add insult to injury, and that'll wrap it up. All right, good game. Back again. Dimir Kotose list. Not too much early action, so we may have to Vortex something away. We may also just Siphon Insight here just to kind of draw a fake card. Oh, Crystal Grotto. Opponent wanting lots of colors and a farm hand. Is this some kind of domain deck? Insight. Definitely take that Elsbeth. That will be good later on. Well, we'll get this Channeler down. Just choose to draw. Really need to get a few more lands so we can build up towards Sheoldred with counter backup, and then eventually Elsbeth. All right, tap land not bad. Just passing it on back. Lean on this make disappear if we need to. And nothing from the opponent. We'll just Siphon Insight again. See what else is going on over there, since I can't quite figure it out. Alright, Wandering Emperor. This could be some kind of like Super Friends Bant list with Broker's Ascendancy. Get our Stowaway down here. Keep up Make Disappear. Feels like they're building towards something big, and we do not want them to have it. Depopulate. I see. Well, let's not let that fly. If they're worried enough about these small creatures to depopulate, they must not have much else going on over there. That's a good draw. Just getting in with the Stowaway. Keep that Channeler around. All right. Well, we drew a sleeper. Don't really need the second Vortex, so we'll pitch that. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but we get to flip Knight, so our Stowaway already on the board becomes better. All right, Wandering Emperor. Suppose we could have Make Disappeared that by sacrificing the Channeler, but I think it's okay to let this one go. We're not in bad shape on cards, and we've stolen 2 of their Planeswalkers, so we might have enough to deal with here. Let's start making some tokens, putting some pressure on this Emperor. And these Vigilant Samurai are also going to be nice in case there are more Emperors hanging around.
We must protect the people.
Another Sheoldred, huh? Okay. Well, we'll put this counter on the Aether Channeler. Meaning that their Wanderer will have to die either way. Alright, no responses from the opponent, so they just let the Wanderer go. We're still kind of low on mana, so just another Stowaway from us. It's still night, so it's on the good side. And we will still keep up this Make Disappear. Really need a few more lands to be comfortable with laying down a Sheoldred or a Elsbeth just yet. Well, we can't let that fly either, so we'll casualty with this Make Disappear. Sacrifice our Channeler finally. Make them have to pay 4, which they cannot do. Aquarian Beast Caller. All right. Good draw with a land. Let's go ahead and get in. I'm happy with trading this token if they want to. No blocks. We get a Rona. Our hand's not really set up for Rona at the moment, so we'll definitely just get down Sheoldred. No reason to pretend like we've got counter magic anymore. And just make a token.
May your blade strike true.
Ren and 7. Huh? This must be some kind of Planeswalker heavy list here.
But we also will not hold back.
Opponent will make a Treefolk token. Plays their Boseiju to kind of pump it up a little bit, and flipping the farmhand. We're going to take this opportunity to get rid of that Treefolk token. Don't really want Ren hanging around, if we can avoid it. Counter on the Stowaway means we can take care of that with just one creature. And we'll get down this Sleeper. Might need to start drawing cards with it eventually. But we've still got Disdainful Stroke for anything big the opponent wants to try to do here. Otherwise, happy to keep pinging away with this Stowaway and Sheoldred. Attack from the opponent. This usually signals a sweeper, but we'll see what they got. Ah, okay. Farewell. Well, we are prepared for that. And too disheartening for the opponent. Good game. All right. This hand looks pretty good. We'll lead off with our super secret Battlefly Swarm. In here to give Haughty Djinns a headache. All right, well, unfortunately not much early going on from us. Sleeper a little better than the Battlefly here, especially in this matchup. And they will cut it down. Well, in that case, it's just a marsh from us. Let's go ahead and lay down this Channeler. Get a little power going on the board here. Adeline, okay. Well, let's just go ahead and fold her back into the deck. Can't afford to have that sticking around. Not a lot of sweepers going on in our deck. Another cut down on our Channeler. We've still got this bird. And we can actually do both the Channeler and the Stroke. So let's channel. We will draw, start filling up the hand. Second Stroke. Perfect. Lines up perfectly with Sheoldred, Invoke Despair. All the stuff we don't want to be seeing. And now we can play our own Sheoldred and still have Disdainful Stroke backup. Lily, unfortunately, just falling under Disdainful Stroke range. So we will have to discard that. Now, I think it's worth it to send Sheoldred over at Lily. We would like to start drawing cards with this Sleeper eventually. Get the advantage back in this game if anything happens to our board. Sarah Paragon is nice. We'll activate here. Start making this a little bigger. And to make disappear Well, we've got a wide enough board. We could potentially counter something if it's cheap. But we'll just see what they do here with this attack. They block the smallest creature for some reason. And that should be enough to put him away. All right, good game. All right, all right. One more with this Dimir list. Cannot keep a 2-lander. Most likely will be punished. Yeah, we'll try keeping this Rona. We've got enough early stuff that we can kind of draw some cards and maybe build into it. Might be a nice 4-drop play for us if we don't get much else going on. Plus, I kind of want to see what she does. All right, so this is looking like Rakdos. So we got an early Harvester from the opponent. Don't want that sticking around. Would love to get something down here. Yeah, let's go with Channeler for now, and we'll just go a little bit wide. All right, Trespasser. Another one of the really good remaining black cards in Standard. All right, we get a Stroke, which won't be good for a couple of turns yet. But having this bird around means we can get Kaito going and not have to minus him since we've already got a little presence going on here. Really would like to find some more lands, though. No blocks from us. Another Harvester. We draw a Sleeper. Okay, well, let's get in with this bird again. That means we can activate Kaito with no penalty. Another Channeler. Okay. Well, I think we'll start working on this Sleeper a little bit. Opponent with a Voltage Surge immediately. All right, well, they can have that. Kind of want to keep this Stroke up since they could be approaching 4 mana this turn. And they're sending just the Trespasser at Kaito and eating the Sleeper out of the grave. Well, I think we're safe to let Kaito take a little bit of damage, and we'll take this freebie block to get the Harvester off the board. Any 4-drops of... Oh, Oni Cult. Oni Cult Anvil. Alright, so they're going to start eating blood tokens, trying to ping us out of this one. So we will need something to address that eventually. Luckily, we've still got our little card draw engine over here.
I know something you don't know.
All right, another Kaito. Let's give Rona a try here. If the opponent is on the Rakdos Artifacts deck, it's kind of a lower curve than some other decks, so the Stroke might not be as useful against them. We can afford to maybe take a turn off and try to keep this Trespasser away for a little bit. All right, opponent just flooding out the board with vampires here. Another ping from the Anvil. All right. Land is good. We'll do our trick with the bird.
Now this is a juicy secret.
Yeah, just trying to think what makes the most sense here. I think we do need to get this Channeler down and kind of have some more flyers. Be able to get in and just resist like an Invoke Despair if they've got one of those. All right, so they get rid of our Rona using their Harvester. At least that was kind of a one-for-one trade at the very least for us. They will eat Rona, so no coming back for you. We'll double up on this Trespasser. Don't want that as like a repeatable source of damage. Sacking a blood token, they get an extra construct. So they're going to continue to be able to go wide here. All right, and an underdog. Okay. We got Siphon Insight. Well, I think we need more options than that. We're getting pretty low, but we need a little something else. Stowaway. All right, well, we'll play one of these. Probably the Battlefly is just a blocker. Yeah, debating playing the other Stowaway there. Opponent will ping us with the Anvil. So we can at least block the underdog if we want to. Might have the choice to kill it with this Death Toucher if we want to give it that ability. Well, not sure I want to kill it just yet, so let's just prevent some of this damage. Do a one-for-one trade on that construct. Probably should have done the Epicure. Invoke Despair. We've got just the card for that. Fortunately, that would have put us very close to being out of the game between the card draw and the life loss. Shipwreck Marsh. Okay, well, let's see what we can peel with this. Sheoldred, yes. That is a card that can get us back in here. We just have to survive long enough to see a few cards drawn. So let's just go ahead and do this with Kaito. Not sure we can safely get in with the bird.
Thanks. I'll be taking that.
And I think we're good on lands for now. So that's a little bit of cushion. Opponent doing some thinking of their own. All right, so we got a second underdog coming down for the blitz cost. Getting in with everybody at our face. So we'll definitely block the blitzed one. And we'll do a one-for-one with this Epicure. All right, that brings us to 3. Opponent draws from the underdog, so they take an extra 2. Activate the Anvil. Looks like they don't have any kind of shock for Sheoldred, which is great news for us. All right, let's take another peek and see if we can get a little removal or something. Just a ridge. Well, let's get this draw going. We can get rid of many extra Kaitos to get rid of. Yeah, we'll play out this ridge. I think we can safely get down this Stowaway and keep up one of these counters depending on what they're throwing at us this time. Another Epicure, so that's 1 damage to the face, plus a blood token. All right, down to 4. And Meathook. Sorry, just had to double check there. We can Disdainful Stroke the Meathook, thankfully. And we'll draw a little bit with Sheoldred there. While it's on the stack, its mana cost is the 2 black plus whatever X is. So you can hit it with a Disdainful Stroke if it's big enough. And we'll get this Kaito emblem off here. It's probably, what, the third time I've ever done this? And let's see what we can pull out of the library here. It's probably going to be Kotose, but let's take a peek. Yeah, definitely got to be Kotose. And I think we will hit them with their own Meathook Massacre. All right, they've got a Harvester. Where are your other Meathooks? It's just the one. I thought that deck played with more than one, but not for me to know, I guess. All right, well, don't need any more land. Sheoldred gets us up to 8, and yeah, we're just gonna throw it right back at you. Little ham and eggs coming at you. All right, opponent says no thank you, and that'll wrap it up. Good game.